I've got something very special in store for you guys today. Mario Lopez approached me a few months ago about a private lesson. He wanted to learn worm guard. He saw me at the World Championships. I guess he was there. He had just started training and he liked my specific style and it stood out to him and he wanted to learn. So I made it up to LA. I got to teach Mario Lopez a lesson on worm guard. So this is sort of an introductory to what worm guard is and the basic position to a complete beginner or a newcomer to lapel-based guards. He's a blue belt at a Gracie Baja gym. He actually has really good wrestling and a pretty good top game already, so I just went to try and sharpen him up a little bit with his guard game and teach him a few tricks of the trade. So check it out. Let me know what you guys think.
Okay, come on.
All right. Could you come here, sir? So, let me explain, first of all. So Jiu-Jitsu.
Is this the worm guard?
Yeah, you want to learn worm guard, right?
Yeah. I never heard of it. It sounds really cool.
We'll start with the basics. So like, I'm sure you're familiar with like a sleeve grip, for instance, right? The sleeve grip in Jiu-Jitsu is an integral part of control, but it's kind of limited in what you can actually do with it. It's strictly for pulling. Like pushing on someone's arm with the sleeve isn't really going to do much. It doesn't affect their body, right? This doesn't have very much leverage, but you can pull and you can do a lot of stuff with the pull when you have like counter leverage points, like at the hip, or maybe you'll take another grip in the collar and then their arm is exposed and this can kind of like leave them open for different attacks, you know? With the collar, it's a little bit stronger grip. With the collar, you can pull and you can push. So if the guy's trying to run away from you or disengage, you can stay tight to him with the collar grip. And if he's trying to put pressure on you and push you in, you can use that as like a stiff arm to like escape, or maybe you can stand up if you want, right? So then you have your pants grips. Pants grips kind of just anchor you to a person. They can keep your hips tight to them so that they don't have an opportunity to like move laterally around you to get past your guard. So like pants grips are very important. And then you're using your hooks to try and control. Here, I'll do on this side for you. Okay. So like, I'm just saying like the different types of grips and what they do, right? So you have pants grips, and then it all comes down to mixing up the different controls. So you maybe have a pants and a sleeve and a collar, double sleeve, like all these things just come down to the different guards of Jiu-Jitsu and the different ways you can control your opponent, right?
Are you pulling and then this is when he stands? And what you resort to, or are you starting off?
You can pull. Yeah, if you pull guard, or anytime you're just on your back, you need grips. Okay. Grips are very important. If you're not taking grips, he has an opportunity to just start moving really fast, and then you're just going to be pushing instead of gripping. The second he starts attacking you and trying to pass your guard, I'm putting pressure on you to pass. Like here, if I grab a grip at this point, it's too late. It's not going to help me defend. I don't have it, then I'm just pushing, just strengthening and trying to escape and recover your guard, right? So you have to establish grips before he has an opportunity to start attacking you. So that when the fight starts and when you start rolling, you have to look for your grips right away and just get a control. So that now he has to worry about these before he can actually mount any sort of offense on you, right? So that's sort of the game of Jiu-Jitsu. It's like who can get their grips first and then try and initiate an attack with those grips. So I have a grip, a worm guard, which no one else really uses, and that's what this part is, like an underutilized control and lower lapel. This control here. And it does something a little different than the other grips. This one actually kind of controls between the faces, because if you look, there's tension here. It kind of pulls his body, kind of rotates him a little bit. So using that mechanic of like forcing him to turn, you can do a lot of really weird and interesting things with it. The easiest of which is just the basic worm guard. So put this leg forward for me. So what it does is it kind of allows you to completely secure yourself to the person, and they don't really have a chance to ever break your grip. So like say if I have a collar grip and he just breaks this grip, I have nothing. I have to restart, get another grip, or change my method of attack, or whatever my plan was, kind of just gets foiled until I get my grip again. But with the worm guard, it has kind of a unique characteristic that it's incredibly hard to actually break the grip. So what it looks like, before I go into explaining like how to do it, keep this leg forward for me. This is what it looks like. So I pass the lapel around my leg and his leg and grip it here. So if you look, it kind of staples my ankle to his hip, like this. And then
so it's always cross.
It's a cross and under his leg, and there's tons of variations on it, but this is the idea. Now look how his posture is broken. There's a ton of tension here on the lapel being held by my leg, and then the grip underneath his knee. There's an immense amount of friction holding the position. It doesn't require a very strong grip. You look, I'm just holding on like a rope. But if he tries to posture up, it's really difficult. So every other guard in Jiu-Jitsu, you need to be using both your hands and both your legs. But with worm guard, I only have two engaged. Both arms are free. My arm is free and my left leg is free. So that allows you a lot of mobility and dynamic movement depending on what he does. Now he's very limited to what he can actually do because all he can do is either put pressure into me or try and back away. There is no, so far no one has figured out a way to escape the position. Like if you can get this, it really locks you to someone, and it's like, that's why a lot of people like it, is they get kind of addicted to the power, because once you get here, the guy's stuck.
Yeah.
And this is only basically half the power, because if he ever starts to give me problems, I can just engage my other hand and my other foot. So say if he starts trying to like push on my toes with his hand, I can grab his sleeve, and now I have sleeve control. And then if I want to start using my left leg, I can start weaving things in to get like even stronger control. So just with the basic position, it's super strong, but then you have like gears to it where you can kind of turn up your control and get even more powerful. So
How do you get it?
I'm going to show you that.
Tucked in.
Yeah. So if it's tucked in, it's actually really easy, depending on where you want to start from. Go ahead and tuck your knee in. You do like, this is where some traditional martial arts comes in. You use a wushu tiger swipe. But
monkey steals the beach.
yeah. So actually what I usually do, if I start with like a normal guard, I'll play like a De La Riva guard. Are you familiar with De La Riva guard?
Yeah.
This is De La Riva, right? And I'll just kind of use my foot to just kick open the lapel.
Oh, okay.
You can just use your foot. You can just like, sometimes if I'm standing, before I pull guard, I'll set it up for myself. So go ahead and tuck it in again. So if the match starts and I'm on my feet and I know I want that grip, what I'll do is I'll just go here and swipe it open. It doesn't, you don't have to like pull it out.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah, it just opens up, look, just like that. Once it's open, then you can just start grabbing it immediately. And so it's kind of a weird feeling because it feels limp at first. Like what is the control here? Like am I really controlling you? But it's weird because once you put your foot in it, then suddenly it becomes very rigid and you have an immense amount of control. Right. So I'm going to show you how to set it up and then you turn it down. So you can do it from standing or from guard. It doesn't really matter. You still have to pull guard. So when you pull guard, get the grip and so kind of back away as you sit so they don't have an opportunity to shoot on you. Because in Jiu-Jitsu, a lot of times, because there's so much guard pulling, people will try and time it. So like as you try and pull guard, I'll say I try and pull guard, you might shoot as I pull, and you get taken down. So you just have to be aware, just be ready for that if it happens. But most of the time, you have grips too. You can just sit your guard pretty safely without anything happening. I have the lapel, and right in this situation, I'm holding his collar as well. I'm going to put my foot in his hip here. And just try and fall to the side that I'm controlling the lapel on, so I'm facing inwards here. Usually this knee's going to be forward. All I'm going to do is swing my leg and use that momentum to help me sit up. Okay, because if you leave this leg up in the air and you try and sit up here, you're going to be like that, fighting yourself. Okay. So swing your leg. Use that like a pendulum motion to swing, and as you swing, do a left hook with your hand behind his knee.
Okay. So you don't have to worry about the De La Riva there?
No. De La Riva is a totally different guard, and that's like if, for instance, maybe he was hiding the lapel from you or didn't want you to have it, you might have to play a different guard first. So you still have to do all the other guards, but the worm guard is just very strong once you get it. So in this situation, we just have your feet on him, engaged, it can be anywhere, and then when you're ready, swing the leg behind his knee, and then pass the lapel to the other hand. And then once you have that grip, you can just fall back to your back here, and it's really strong against like knee cut pressure. The more pressure he puts into you, the tighter the position locks in. And then from here, he really has no choice but to just react to what I do next, because he can't really break the grip and he can't really posture up. He's just stuck. Okay. So try it out.
Push.
Yep.
And you say grab this first?
Yep. That's fine.
Is that fine? Or you want me to pull here?
You're going to have your right foot in the hip here. Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm grabbing under the
Yeah, just grab a little bit lower on it so you have a little more to work with. And then you're just going to stay on your right hip a little more.
Oh, my right hip.
Here.
Okay.
Perfect. Now swing your leg and use that to help you sit up. There. Perfect. Yes.
So when I'm here, I don't have to, do I have to?
You don't have to.
I don't necessarily.
You don't necessarily have to unless that hand is causing you problems, like he's really trying to.
Will he most likely be here trying
Yeah, but even if he's there, that's fine. And you can take that grip if you want to. There's no wrong way to do it. Once you get this though, now you just sort of fall back into that position.
To my right or left?
To your right. Yes. Here. And feel how he puts pressure on you here. And then Robert, go ahead and try and stand up a little so you can feel how the control is here. See how you're kind of stuck to him? Yeah. You won't feel as vulnerable, whereas if you're playing like a more open guard, go ahead, let me sub in here. Say you're playing like with Belgium, for instance.
Okay.
So you can have any grip you want, trying to play a normal guard, but from here, you don't really have control over my body. I'm the one who dictates the pace of the fight, because you have to react to every movement that I do, right? But with the worm guard, when you have the grip, so you can set up.
Around your leg, my leg.
Around both arms.
Oh, hold on.
So squeeze leg.
Here, wait, this leg too?
No, no.
Oh no, this, okay, that's okay, sorry. There.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's crazy. Okay.
Just like this.
Okay, there.
And then stay off your elbow.
Oh,
Flat, yeah. Totally fine to just chill here like this. Good. And then go ahead and let your foot pass my hip.
Let it pass.
Yeah.
So I don't have to keep it like this.
Sometimes you can, if you feel like they're really driving into you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can put your foot back on the hip just to create a little bit of space between us if you feel like
What's
you're
better,
getting
here?
It's totally fluid and up to you.
Okay.
Either it's better or worse.
Because like I have shorter legs, so it should be better for my style.
You still need to use both, depending on what they do. Like, if they're driving into you, you only have to do it if you feel like you want to create space, but they're not going to pass if you're just putting pressure. You're just maybe be stuck underneath them for a little.
Okay.
But you can, if you want to create space, put your foot here. Okay. But there's no right or wrong.
Okay.
Either is fine control as long as your foot stays there.
Okay.
So now look. So remember I was talking about moving around laterally.
Yeah.
I can't really move around because wherever I go, you're so stuck to me.
Right.
It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it for you because you don't have to have a lot of hip movement or dexterity in your legs, right?
Yes.
So from here, this is your control. Now, what's cool about it is to set up different positions, you can switch this grip. You can grab it here like this, and now you can get up to this elbow on this side. And start facing this way, and now my back is kind of so now I'm even more, remember I said controls is where I'm facing? I'm facing away from you. I can't really turn into you because your forearm's on my knee.
Yeah.
Your foot is here on my hip.
Okay.
I can't really turn either way.
Right.
So what options do I have really? I can only just wait for you to do something.
Or like kind of squash.
Yeah, I mean putting pressure, it doesn't get me out of your guard. This is just safer
And
for
this
you.
isn't bad for me?
Not at all.
Okay.
Do you feel in danger?
No.
All right. Maybe you might want to watch out for this ankle if they try and like start squeezing on your leg or something.
Okay.
But it's not really that much of a threat.
Okay.
So from here, there's a lot of attacks you can actually do, which we can get into.
Okay.
But okay, let you feel it. Let me do it on you. Has anyone ever tried this to you in training?
No.
No,
Never seen
I don't do it. I haven't done it yet.
I've never seen it.
Okay. So it doesn't matter which leg you give me. Like if they step forward with this knee or this knee, I'll do. You can do it to either side.
But you, sorry.
Yeah.
When you're pulling, but you wouldn't go straight to this, right?
I would.
Okay, like you would, but like,
No,
but
you can.
but like,
You totally can.
should I start here and then get to that?
Like maybe when you're playing guard.
Yes. When I'm
You
pulling.
can start. You can go straight to it right away.
How do you do straight through?
You just grab the lapel and go for it. Like,
Just go for it.
so like, you know how you put your foot in the hip when you pull?
Yeah.
Just do it with this, whatever side's comfortable. Oh look, I just put my foot in your hip. And then switch.
Okay.
You can just go over there to it. Okay. And then from here, look, say we were to start to roll, what would you do? Try and do something. Exactly. There's not a lot of movement, right? And so look, like give me a little bit of realism. Let's move around a little bit and try and pass. I'll show you some of like off balance motions. Very off balance. Very off balance. See?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a different. Yeah, I'm like almost underneath your legs, and I can sort of like lift you and start forcing you to get more back, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Here, do it one time. Because I like feeling it too, so that way I know.
Yeah, no, it's good to feel like when you do it to someone, it helps you understand. So that leg only really comes into play once you start trying to do sweeps. Okay, but as far as just the control, this is it. And
You always want to have coming up, not coming down, right?
No, it depends on what attacks, because I just like to give you an example of how many moves there are from here. I just did a 9-hour instruction, like 9 hours of talking about every single technique you do from all these positions. So there's a lot, and then depending on what technique you're going to do, like that grip can be good. You can go palm down for a different attack. You can go underneath your own thigh here and grip it for even stronger attacks.
Oh yeah, that feels real crazy.
And it doesn't put anyone in danger. There's no torque on someone's knee. It's not really going to expose you to like any sort of leg lock.
Yeah.
And you're saying that there's the
You can
shallow foot here, the deep.
Yeah, if you go super deep, if it goes deeper, it doesn't really matter. As long as your foot doesn't slide completely out of the lapel loop, what we call the wormhole, that's the wormhole right there. If your foot comes out of there, then the position falls apart.
Wait, it comes out of where?
If you were to take your foot entirely out, like this.
Oh,
now it's not work guard.
Okay,
Now it's a lapel.
But it's nearly impossible.
So it's got to be in there.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
It's nearly impossible for the guy on top to push your foot out.
Got it.
So it's up to the person on bottom can free themselves from the position anytime, whether they let go of the actual grip on the lapel or just take your foot out.
Got it.
So
let's do it for dummies version with the first couple.
yeah.
Once you got
No,
it.
for sure. So I have like there's very fundamental moves you can do from there, and very advanced moves. You can do.
Okay.
The first like.
Yeah.
The first 2 or 3, and then.
Yeah. We don't want to overload you.
Yeah,
of course.
So I'm just going to show you one super simple one.
Okay.
Which I think is probably the most effective.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you're gonna get the lapel. You don't have to take it all the way out. Like whatever you get, you can work with. I'm just taking it all the way out so it's easier to show. So you're gonna set it up in the same way. You're just making sure your foot is on the hip. Be active here. Don't let your legs just chill. You have to like be engaged and be aware that he's gonna be trying to do something back to you in this moment.
Yeah.
So you don't want to just chill.
Which will be usually what?
It could be anything. That's actually best case scenario, because if he's worried about the lapel, then he's not attacking. It's worse if you start doing something like this and Toriano passes immediately, where you don't really have a super solid control yet. Okay? But once you get the grip, you're going to be safe. Grip control, as long as you have your grip, you're home, you're just easy riding right now.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do from here, you can take your time, you can rest if you're tired, you can be super aggressive. We'll do the first attack. We're going to take your free hand, and we're going to go palm down on the lapel here like this.
Okay.
Now, the goal here is to try and get your knee as up high over the top of his knee as you can. See how my knee is above his kneecap and not down here?
Yes.
I'm just turned here like this. Now see how he's stepping back with this leg?
Yes.
Because he's off balance, he needs to try and maintain his base over there. All I'm going to do is just put my other foot on his ankle.
Okay.
And then watch this. The only thing he can base with now is his hand. If I try and pull him back this way, he can step with that foot more, right? And then nothing really happens. But if I block that foot, now when I start to tilt him backwards, he's going to fall down. I can maintain the position on top here if I want, or you can just let go of it and then you're in his guard and it's your turn to try and pass his guard, or he tries to sweep you.
You can just flatten out from him?
You can. There's very many things you can do. You can just step your leg back. You can just drop down, go to half guard, start trying to put pressure.
Right. Okay.
Anything.
Okay.